Hello everyone, my name is Muir and we've got something new for you today. However, before we get into the video, I'd like to take a moment to tell you that nearly 70% of people who watch our videos are not subscribed. If you're not subscribed, you could do me a huge favor by liking the video, commenting below, subscribing to the channel, and ringing that bell. It really helps with the channel and lets me know that you're liking what I'm making. Alright, without further ado, let's get into the video. I'll choose him, the mole ninja said to himself. I'm the smartest, and I'll go show the Phoenix how stupid he really is, and then I'll defeat him with my katana that's been folded 1 billion times and made by an ancient super smith, like Muir or something, he says, as he looks down at his blade, which he's spent his entire life savings on. Mall Ninja looks down at the countryside, which hasn't loaded entirely, and glares, thinking how stupid the dev must be. If only he had the Mall Ninja's intelligence. As everyone knows, Fedora's the best hat ever, and he needs to go bitch and moan on Reddit. Well, he'll do it eventually, one day, after he makes that game that's better than Kenshi. And so he begins his journey off to Blister Hill. I'm gonna show the Phoenix who's bad, he says to himself, convinced that he can get there and he can show the Phoenix who's boss. And so, with all of his equipment that he has spent his fortunes on, his black fedora, his black body wrap, his ninja pants, which he stole from somebody, his ninja rags, which he also stole, and his wooden sandals, he goes to challenge the Phoenix with this sword, created by Muir, whoever that is, himself. His superior blade to all others. The Mall Ninja goes to fight the Phoenix. But first he needs to gather his respect. He thinks back to all the times he has argued with people on Reddit about what's cooler and what's better, ninjas or shinobi. He knows it's ninjas. Other people say it's shinobi. Some people with weird things like, I don't know, master's degree in history have said that they're the same thing, but Mall Ninja knows better. He knows better. He knows what a real ninja is. He knows what a real ninja looks like. And he knows that it's more important to go and show others how stupid they are. As he goes to show the Phoenix who's boss, I'm gonna show him his butt. I'm gonna teach him how unenlightened and stupid he is, he says to himself, as he runs his way over there, eating his rice. As the universe slows down for my stupid universe, it's badly optimized, he growls to himself, as he runs over to Blister Hill to earn the Phoenix's request through doing some service or bringing back the head of some monster with his superior sword and intellect. And so, off he goes. He needs to show the Phoenix who's boss. He needs to show the Phoenix who's the smartest. He needs to show everyone that he can do anything he sets himself to. And so he goes. Running alone into the wilderness, with his legendary blade at his side, which he spent a fortune on and bought from the mall. And, oh no, water! He barely manages to tread water as he's up to his face and he doesn't know what he's... Oh, safety. If only that water was just a couple of feet deeper, he would have been in trouble. But no, he's a ninja. He wouldn't have been in trouble, he says. No, I would have been fine, he says to himself. He's got this. And anybody who thinks otherwise doesn't understand how cool he is as a ninja. Because he knows the importance of posing. He goes into Blister Hill to wake up the Phoenix. So clearly, the Phoenix is at his beck and call, not the other way around. The guard, the jerk dick ahead guard, glares at him as he runs through the gates, clearly not smart enough to understand his enlightened self. Well, just be like that, you asshole, he says, growling. Love and devotion, brother, love, devotion. He's offended. Love is for the weak. Devotion, the people too stupid to understand how cool it is to be him. And so he poses momentarily to try and show that guy how it's done before going in to talk to the Holy Phoenix. He sees these physically fit men running into the Phoenix's compound with their big two-handed swords and armor. He says, disgusted. No one would ever. No, a true ninja doesn't need weapons like that. He's got a real weapon with steel that's been folded 1 billion times to make the blade ultimately sharp, he says, as he goes over to talk to the Phoenix. If we can find the Phoenix. He looks desperately for the Phoenix, trying to find who's the man he needs to direct his ire at. He can't see him. Where's this big stupid Phoenix that everyone keeps talking about, who leads his people, quote unquote, he says. Then he sees him. He runs over to him. I'll wake you up. No one stops me. He talks to the Phoenix. The Phoenix doesn't say anything. You're stupid. The Phoenix doesn't say anything. He says hello. He walks over to the High Paladin, glares at him. Divine blessings, brother. Okran's light shines brightly today. A good omen. Oh, what? That's stupid. You like religion? You're the dumbest person ever, he says. Real warriors don't need religion. The Paladin glares at him, shrugs, and promptly ignores him. He glares at the Phoenix, angry that he's ignoring him. It's fine. I'll be back. I'm gonna get over here. Actually, I'm gonna get on your throat. And take that. I'll show you. I'm smarter than you are, he says. He sits down, glares at the Phoenix again, and says, fine. If you won't talk to me, give me a question to prove that, so I can prove that I'm worthy of fighting you. Phoenix looks over at a Paladin, looks at a High Paladin, looks at the looks at his holy defender, shrugs and says, very well. To the south, there lies a place of volcanoes. There skeletons reign supreme. Bring me the head of one of these skeletons, and I will fight you in honorable combat. It's stupid! But I will fight you in honorable combat then. Do you not agree? Will you not fight? Will you not prove yourself worthy to... Fine, I'll do it. He spits, glaring at the Holy Phoenix. You're stupid, and I'm gonna be back. The Paladins look at each other, raising an eyebrow. One of the high paladins chuckles. "You'll see," he says. Says the mall ninja, as he heads down for the land of volcanoes. He will show this holy phoenix jerk he can do it. He realizes that he doesn't have much food left. He says, "Oh no! I need to go get something to eat for my journey. Otherwise, I might be a little hungry." He runs over to the bar. Looks for the barman. "Hey, you got any real food?" Offended by the barman not having any rice. Clearly the superior food. He takes the next best thing. Cooked vegetables. Filling his entire inventory with cooked vegetables. He turns and begins to make his way back over to the land the Holy Phoenix spoke of. "I'll be back," he says. "You'll see me again," he says, waving his fist at the Holy Phoenix, at Okram himself, as he goes running over. "I'll show them all," he says. "I'm the smartest, and I'm the strongest, and I'll bring my own sense of truth and justice to the world." He's confident, completely confident in his abilities to fight anything, based on that one martial arts class he went to before he hurt his ankle. No, that's why, guys. He hurt his ankle and he couldn't keep going. And so, off he goes. He browses Reddit in the meantime, seeing islands of fogs. Perhaps, he thinks, that's what he meant. He'll go there. He'll go there. He has an even better idea. There are monsters that he's heard of. Beasts in the van. Because the other way is kind of a long way to run. He doesn't want to do that. So instead, he'll bring them back. He'll bring back the Holy Phoenix. Something even better. Something feared by all those plebs who stay within cities. Who aren't strong enough. Or aren't cool enough and skilled enough to make it on the outside, he thinks. "I'll bring him back a beating egg," he says. "I've got this. Those things, I've never seen them before, but I've heard about them. I've seen them in books. But I can take those things on no problem," he says. Glaring at everything that stands in his way. Why are there mountains? Why are there mountains? He says to himself, complaining loudly. Why? Why isn't everything just flat and I can just run around it? It's so stupid, he says. He considers complaining about not being able to climb up the mountains, but then thinks better of it. A real ninja, he thinks, wouldn't be perturbed by not being able to climb a mountain. He would just go around the mountain. He's not sure. But he adjusts his fedora. He checks his refitted blade. And he makes his way down into the... It's disgusting, he says, appalled by someone different from himself. And goes, making his way down into the vein, clearly superior to everyone else. Big things exist, he says. Big things exist only because other people are too scared to actually fight them, he says to himself. I'll go fight them, and I'll beat them up. I'll show them with my legendary blade made by, whoever he said. Then he makes his way down, truly confident in his ability to take on any enemy, and he means any enemy. Come on, you. Hey! What is that? What? And he smells the shigloos, the stench. He can't stand it. These people living... He can't stand this. These people living together? Disgusting. He needs to leave immediately. Because they might have a master, but he doesn't. He is a loner. And he knows better than everyone else about what he should do and what everyone should do in life. As he looks around, trying desperately to find an enemy worthy of his blade. And then he sees it. A big thing off in the distance. I can take that on no problem, he says. I've got this. My legendary blade, made by someone, he says, glaring at the big thing as he closes in on it. Come on, huh? You want to go? Huh? I'm smarter than you. I can outsmart you with my blade, he says. He sees a gorilla. 2 versus 1? Cowards. I'll show you who's boss. Bring it on. Bring it on, huh? He says, drawing his blade, charging the big thing. The bleak thing goes to bring down his massive jaws. I saw this in one of my movies. He raises his blade, ready to block its attack. He blocks the strike. Confidence surges in Mall Ninja. As the gorilla comes up behind him. I've got this. I'm gonna block the gorilla. Then I'm gonna go around the big thing's leg and slice his tendon. And then I'm going to taking a blow to the head. His fedora flies off of his head. He screams in panic. His ponytail now revealed. Oh no, but he can do it. He's confident. He only took 73 damage to the skull. He's got this. He knows it. He goes to attack the big thing again. This time, when its head comes down, he'll counterattack it through the lower jaw. He knows it. He's seen it in movies before. They just stick their sword up there and boom, and it's over. He gets struck again. His chest is starting to hurt. It's only pain, he thinks. I've got this. After this, I'll go back and tell everybody on Reddit how good I am. The big thing bites into his chest and he crumples to the ground. His last thoughts about how stupid that big thing is, how unenlightened it is. He sees the big thing and the gorilla fighting over him, as he's certain that if it was a one-on-one fight, he would have won no problem. He hears other big things, and he starts panicking. He knows that if he can get up, he can win. He decides to get up. He decides to try and get up again, hoping desperately that this time... He screams. One of the big things smacking him, keep him on the ground unconscious. Wounded. He starts to think that maybe this wasn't the best idea, but he's got this. All he needs to do, he thinks, is just to crawl away. And he gets up one last time, confident in his ability, now that he's back on his feet, to fight these big things. But he sees there's so many of them. He thinks to himself, maybe this wasn't the best idea. In the distance, he hears the phoenix laughing. As he brandishes his blade that's been folded 5 trillion times and decides to attack one of the big things. He goes down again. And then he feels it starting to eat his arm, to eat his right leg. He screams as it starts to chew off his right leg. No, no, this is so stupid, he says. He screams, angry that someone would even that this could ever happen to him. If it was just a one-on-one fight, he says. As he feels his right leg slowly being torn off of his body, the flesh stripped. He cries out in pain as the beak thing rips his right leg entirely off. He can feel his consciousness starting to slip. Feel his consciousness starting to slip. If I can just get the Shaishin to stay conscious, I can get back up and I can fight them, he thinks. He says to himself. He looks up at the beak thing and says, I'll show you once I'm back on my feet. And then he dies of blood loss. And so ends the tragic tale of who was clearly the smartest person in the entire universe. He was smarter than you. He was smarter than me. He was smarter than all of Reddit. He was smarter than everyone. And the fact that you didn't understand what he was saying was all because... And there he goes.